Hi guys, I've had a few people ask in the comment section if Toffee is still in his bedroom at night, and I realised I haven't actually done anything publicly to let you guys know what the free roam situation is. So you'll remember when he had his neuter, up until his neuter, he was in his bedroom at night and free roaming during the day. So we got Toffee at 6 weeks old, and from the first couple of days he was in his room just to familiarise himself with the space and being in a new house and getting to know us. After that he was allowed to free roam during the day but not at night. So tiny little 6 weeks old Bunny was free roaming the upstairs of the house during the day. He had not then conquered his fear of the stairs, so he wasn't going downstairs at all. As he got a bit more confident, he started, as you remember, one step at a time. And once he'd conquered his fear of the stairs, there was then no stopping him. So during the day, he was up and down and up and zooming up and down the stairs and really confident, but still in his room at night. Now, we had a few very hot days in the summer and we let Toffee free roam overnight then, purely because we were struggling to keep the upstairs of the house cool enough for him and thought it's best to let him choose which room he would like to go to cool himself down. So he went and chose to sleep downstairs because it was a lot cooler. When he had his neuter, he had to be confined to his room for the first 3 days to let the wound heal. Up until then, at around 11:30 at night, Toffee would take himself to his room at 11:30 and go in there and wait for the stair gate to be shut. He knew the bedtime routine and that was his way of saying goodnight. The 3 days he was in his room to Toffee were a nightmare. He hated it. And it wasn't so much that he wanted company. I was in that room for most of the 3 days with him. I even had some of my meals in the room with him, so he had company. And it wasn't really that he wanted company. It wasn't really even that he wanted to get out of the room. He just did not want that door closed in the day and at night. Now, we weren't closing the door on him at all, because obviously that's too big and it makes him feel like he's isolated from the rest of the house. We had a stair gate and we had cardboard across the stair gate so he didn't get his head stuck in it. But he then started ripping off the cardboard and got very, very frustrated for those 3 days. Now, following the vet's advice, I couldn't let him out for 3 days and he got more and more frustrated as that time went on. So at the end of the 3 days, the vet suggested that he stay in his room for another week, and Toffee was not having any of it. He did not want to be in his room for another week. So we expanded the area to the landing, but not down the stairs. So he was having a little bit of a room expansion, but he wasn't able to go up and down stairs. And at the end of those few days, we got the all clear from the vet, and Toffee then, as of that day, started free roaming 24/7. He did not want to go back in his room that night at all. And so we decided the time was right to let him free roam. So a few days later, the stair gate was taken away, removed completely. Over those few days, it was just left open at night to see what he made of it. And he absolutely loved having the freedom to be able to choose where to go. At night, Toffee, as Pom Pom did before him, chooses most of the time to go downstairs at night. And I'm not sure if this is some bunny psychology of wanting to protect the house while we're all asleep, because as I said, Pom Pom used to do the exact same thing. So we'd all say goodnight, we go to bed, and then the rabbit trots on downstairs. So Pom Pom used to choose to sleep in the lounge on the sofa. Toffee does not like lying on sofas or laying on the big bed. He goes on them, but for lying and relaxation, he prefers to have his feet firmly on the ground. And as you know, he doesn't really like being picked up either. So it's a Toffee thing. I think a lot of rabbits feel the same way. They like to have their feet very firmly on the ground. So he will go in the kitchen and he'll go to under the dining table, which is where he sometimes has his nap. That's where you'll normally find him, but he does do different things. Of an evening, he's gone into the office. Of an evening, he's gone into his own room. And it's funny, I found that taking the barrier away from keeping him in his room at night and leaving his door open 24/7, he will now of himself go and spend time in his room, because it's like, it's not somewhere he has to be anymore. So it's somewhere he just likes to go, and he'll play with his toys in there. But yeah, that's Toffee mainly at night. That's what he gets up to. I frequently get woken up at around 5 a.m. on the sound of him zooming. So I've got woken up one night 3 times, zoom, 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 went back to sleep, zoom, 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 went back to sleep, zoom, zoom, zoom. I hear him at 5 a.m. zooming, and some mornings now he will now come and wake me up in bed. He went in most of the rooms. He's allowed in all of the rooms, and he went in most of the rooms, but he doesn't go in bedrooms very much. So recently I started enticing him into my bedroom, and I bring him in with treats, and I get him to jump on the bed, and I scatter some treats on the bed, some bits of apple, and he'll have fun finding them. And he started bunching the bedding as well while trying to find them. And I've just given him that extra bit of confidence that he is allowed into our room. He always has been allowed, but I think he just thought that's kind of my lair, that's where we retire, that's where we sleep, and he wasn't welcome there. And on the contrary, I've kind of been luring him in and saying, look, come in and jump on the bed, it makes Mummy happy. So he does do that now. He will come in and jump on the bed in the morning, which is what I wanted. And he'll come in there in the evening. If I'm in there getting ready for bed, he'll just come and lie down on the floor next to me, and we'll have some time together. And every morning, he's on the bed and he's waiting for his treat now every morning. I've got him into a habit of waiting for treats in the morning now, so I have to keep that up. And it's nice because this morning actually he was on the bed in and out of the room 3 times. So that's really good that he feels confident enough to do that. And I'm really pleased that he feels confident enough to do that. So yes, he is allowed to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Now, I remember doing videos of Pom Pom up with me at 3 o'clock in the morning in the kitchen. My sleep pattern is all over the place. So you guys have seen videos of me and my rabbits up at 1 a.m, up at 3 a.m, and then there are days that I can't get out of bed in the morning. There are days that I live on 2 hours of sleep, and it's all over the place. But one of the things I remember people saying on this video of being up at 3 a.m. with Pom Pom was, why isn't he in a cage? Why isn't he in a crate? He shouldn't just be roaming around in the middle of the night. And I'm like, well, actually, yeah, why not? Why not? That's what they do. And it's a bit of a foreign concept to some people, a bit of a strange concept that this rabbit is just allowed to do what he wants when he wants. But Toffee is now, as of his neuter a couple of months ago, totally free to go where he wants, when he wants. Now, the exceptions are, if you see doors closed, there are cupboards that are here. These are closed doors. We keep the cupboards closed. For the past year, Pom Pom's ashes have been in this cupboard. This doesn't get opened really, well, at least not when Toffee's around. If Toffee is really going for the carpet in one particular room, and this doesn't happen very often, I say we have to do this probably once a week, once a fortnight tops, but sometimes he will really be going at an area in a room, and I will then have to close that one door, usually the spare room. Don't ask me why, but all the rabbits who've been in our house cause havoc in the spare room. I don't know why. But we will then close that door for an hour, maybe for the rest of the day, just until they kind of cool off. But bear in mind, it's not a punishment. They're not being confined in a room. All I'm doing is closing one door, and he's still got 4 other rooms to go in and the rooms downstairs. So it's not a punishment. It's just try and forget about this room, Toffee. And by the next day, usually he's calmed down, might be at it again. So that's one thing that we do. When Bundad is at home, working from home, if he's on a work call, he will try and shut the door to have a work call. But more often than not, Toffee will be able to get it open and go in there. He doesn't like doors being shut, bless him, at all. Even if he doesn't want to actually go in the office, he just doesn't like the door being shut. Hello, mister. Hello, mister. He's just coming right up to the tripod. Hey, hello, come here. Come here, come and say hello. Come and say hello. Come and say hello. So yes. He always does this when you stroke him. Theo's room is shut when our teenage son, when he is at school, it's closed, and when he's out, it's closed. But when Theo is home, Theo's room is open, and Toffee's welcome to go in and out of there and say hello and play around in there as well. Other than that, the doors are left open. The other exception is bathrooms. I don't really like them following me in bathrooms because you get the germ factor. Pom Pom used to like to go and lick the toilet bowl, and I'd be like, no, don't do it. If I come out of the shower, I'm conscious the floor could be wet, and obviously they slip and slide. And when we first moved to this house, my ensuite has a shower and a bath in it. And the bath had never been used because it was a brand new house. And we came in and I was showing Pom Pom around the house on the first day, showed him in the bathroom, and he went in the bathroom and he jumped into an empty bath. And I think he thought it was going to be like a table and he'd land on the top because he obviously couldn't see the top or what was inside. And he went inside this bathtub and he panicked like crazy. And the more he tried to scramble to get out, the worse it got because he would slide in the bath. And I was washing my hands at the time. I had to dry them off really quickly, pick him up and take him out. And I was like, we are not having that again. So, but actually I found with Toffee, he kept wanting to follow me in. And then if I go in and actually leave the door open, there's less desperation for him to go in there because it's not a room that he's prohibited from going in. So therefore it kind of loses its fascination a bit. And he's just like, meh, Mom's in the bathroom, just carry on doing whatever I'm doing. So that's Toffee, yeah. Total freedom. Goes where he wants, does what he wants. Happy bunny.